Welcome to the Roasted Snow Horror Show,
where fear and dread go head to head.
Welcome to the show, where the screams collide, where blood runs cold, and the shadows hide. Each week a fight, two films will clash. Last week's champ, will it burn to ash? The Roasted Snow Horror Show, where fear and gore will always flow. One film wins, one must go. The Roasted Snow Horror Show. Lights go down, the fight begins. Which nightmare takes the final win? You pick your side, we'll break it down. The Roasted Snow, the goriest showdown.
and here are your hosts.
Chris and Ryan!
Welcome, everyone, into the Roasted Snow Horror Show. I'm your host, Ryan Rosted. Everybody thinks my last name is Roasted. With me, Chris Snow, Snowman, Sexual Tyrannosaurus, Viagra Pill with a Face. Before we get into silly shit, we do have to say, as millennials, we lost a big one this week. And
Truth.
especially horror community, or Scream guys, Hayden Pantier, sadly passed away. I believe it was Sunday night. Was that it?
It was Monday, actually. I was on a plane, and when I landed and turned my phone back on, popped right up.
It's just, obviously go back to, she was such a standout character in Scream 4. So the fact where they had technically killed her in that movie, and then the fan outcry brought her back for Scream 6, and she's done a ton of other things. One of my favorites
Remember
is
the
I Love You, Beth
Titans?
Cooper. Yeah, Remember the Titans? I love
For
I
all
Love
you
Beth
gamers
Cooper.
out there, for all you gamers out there, she voiced Kyrie in Kingdom Hearts.
Mhm.
So that takes me back.
She did a Bring It On movie. It's sad because my daughter loves Ice Princess, and both the main characters are now, they're our age, and they're no longer with us. So it's a tough one because we grew up with her in all
We really did. We really did.
all the different movies and shows, and I mean she was Heroes, Nashville, like
Mhm.
all this work, and so just sad that we lost a good one, but we're not gonna bring it down. We're gonna do some silly shit too, so because we're here to talk about dinosaurs. But before that, how are you? What's up?
I'm really good, man. Spent the weekend in Las Vegas. Saw the Backstreet Boys, The Sphere. What a show, man. They haven't lost a step. It's so much fun. I mean, if you're listeners, if you're a millennial, if you can make it out there to see this thing, go do it. It's
a millennial
such a blast.
pilgrimage. You have to do it.
It really is. Visited a lot of different bars. It's been great.
Yeah, we have to get through all that trauma somehow. It just keeps coming.
Exactly. It keeps coming,
It keeps
one after the other. Lean into the things that make you happy, folks.
Yep, and Death, Taxes, and the Backstreet Boys. There you go.
That's right, baby.
Yep.
As long as the music will be coming back again.
Hey, we got it going on. But so we are a little late on this one, so apologies. We were both kind of running behind this week. First week of school, and you getting back from Vegas and trying to get everything going. But we were excited to talk about this one from the start. It's not truly horror. It's more sci-fi.
More thriller.
Yeah. I mean, on paper, the premise of this movie looks really dumb. Really dumb.
We live in this strange world of, if you guys are millennials and listening, you understand, like, Jurassic Park is the bar for dinosaur movies because it's timeless. It holds up. Everything about it holds up. I mean, you can watch it today, and I mean, your daughter's at the age. Well, your oldest daughter, is almost at the age where you can kind of show her Jurassic Park. But it's timeless. It's a perfect film. Spielberg absolutely knocked it out of the park. So when we think of dinosaur films, we kind of think of Jurassic Park. So This movie, The End of Oak Street, is exciting because it's a new take on the dinosaur concept. It's like, hey, dinosaurs, are they transported to modern times? Are these characters transported back to prehistoric times? It's dinosaurs attacking a neighborhood. I mean, that in itself demands a watch, doesn't it?
Yeah, but again, like on paper, you're just like, okay, so it's this family. Somehow dinosaurs are attacking. Like this one, yeah, just from the outset, it had bust written all over it. But then you look at the cast, and you're like, all right, they got Anne Hathaway in this. They got Ewan McGregor in this. They got and like I guess it's the summer of Anne Hathaway and Zendaya and Tom Holland. And I did some research. Anne Hathaway got paid 3 times more for this movie than she did for The Odyssey.
That's very well. I mean, to be fair, she's only in The Odyssey for how many minutes total?
Well, but then Zendaya was paid more than Anne Hathaway was for The Odyssey.
Zendaya is about. I mean, she might make a record year because she had, of course, Spider-Man: Brand New Day, The Odyssey, and then she has Dune Part 3 in December, which we already know is going to be an absolute blockbuster.
That one's going up against Doomsday, though.
How great is that? So I read a report, and guys, we've been talking about this almost all year because we've kind of been leaning into it a little bit. But if there's ever an argument that movies are back, this year is proving it in spades. I mean, we have just had home run after home run, and it's not slowing down. I think the Resident Evil movie is going to be great next month. I think that's really going to be a great fall movie. We've got Doomsday. Yeah, Doomsday and Dune 3 are the same week. So it's going to be another Barbenheimer situation, guaranteed. They're already saying we had Spider-Man 3 weeks ago, which is already turning out to be the highest grossing domestic film of all time and already one of the biggest films of all time in history. It's heading that way. I mean, we have, and then again, they're already saying like the pre-sales for Avengers Doomsday are already outpacing the Spider-Man pre-sales. So, I mean, it's really great to see, not only as horror fans, because I think horror's been having a revolutionary year, but if you guys are fans of cinema in general, I mean, I am so encouraged by everything that's been going on the big screen this year. Like really, really encouraged, not just from a, blockbuster standpoint, but from an indie standpoint. Obsession obviously is the number one that we think of there. $750,000 that has made $200 million, so really encouraging, really exciting, really makes me make sure that I'm going to keep that A-list subscription for the immediate future.
They're going to have to rip that out of my cold, dead hands. So
I love that. You're 100% right.
Speaking of, movies are thriving in the movie theater experience. Also, you alluded to me off air, and I said something to you too, that we both had an interesting experience watching this one with whoever was next to us. So, I will let you go first and tell your experience of this before we get into the actual movie.
So if you guys have been around for as long as Ryan and I have, obviously millennials, we're in our late 30s now, both of us. There is an interesting dynamic that has taken place with movie theaters, I would say probably in the last 5 years, in that people just don't seem to give a shit about etiquette at a movie theater. I was sitting next to someone, and granted, as the film goes on, I think I started understanding kind of what was really going on, but a guy came in with his daughter who was, I don't know, teenager, 13, 14. And it was just everything that happened was I need to laugh at this, or I need to display my shock. So it was a lot of, oh my gosh, well now. And it's not just she's talking to her dad. It's like she's expressing this stuff out loud. Well now, oh my gosh. Well, what about this? And you just want to reach over and be like, will you shut the hell up? What are you doing?
Could you have kicked her dad's ass though?
I mean, you've seen me in real life. I mean,
but you're a teddy bear though.
It's true. That's true. I'm a big Bane looking guy, but I am a teddy bear. But yeah, I mean, and then halfway through the movie, she leaned over onto her dad to go to sleep. Like she was just, I don't have time for this. I need to rest. And then it turned into, I'm not going to express my shock at the movie. I'm going to look at I'm going to all of a sudden wake up and stare at my dad and then express my displeasure that I've been woken up. So it turned into a lot of this. And you have 2 daughters, so you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You can pull that shit in the Paw Patrol Dino movie, but
I wanted to be like, hey man, you need to take her out of here. This is not, you need to take her out. I understand this is probably your one time a week, which is interesting because I went on a a Thursday, or it was a Tuesday night actually. I went on a Tuesday night at like 6:30. I was like, hey man, I understand this might be your one opportunity to get out of the house and you got to bring your kid, but this is a nightmare, man. I paid money to watch this.
Even my oldest daughter, because she was a COVID baby, so she never got to have like that movie theater experience until way later. And it's like we tried to explain to her during COVID, like, look at when we're able, we will take you to the actual movie theater, but you have to be quiet. You teach them from get-go. I will tell you about my friend in my theater. A lot like the kid in yours, except for this guy was, dare I say, he was my age or older. And what annoyed me right off the bat was, and I've talked about it here before, when I go see a movie, it's usually by myself. It's really late at night. I think this was like a 10:30 on a Friday or something, which pack theater, love to see it for a movie like this. Love to see it. But I had strategically placed myself in a seat where I would have one open to the left of me and one open to the right of me. Now, preview startup. This guy walks up and he is wearing a Dodger jersey. He has his own pink drink thing, and he's just walking. And he's one of those thunderous steps. Like boom, boom, boom. I thought a fucking dino was walking up the stairs. But so he comes up, and I was like, please don't fucking turn in my row. And of course he does. And he sits in a seat that was previously open. And I was like, oh, did he really buy one like right next to where I would be at? Because I moved over to the one that wasn't sold because I wanted more space. But not that I hate people, but I hate people. And so I go and look at my phone because the previews are still going on. And I'm like, this is like I got to see if the seat was actually sold to this guy. Of course, fucking not. No, not sold to him. So I don't know what his deal was. The seats that were already taken were ones that were sold earlier in the day. So I don't know where he came from, what he did. And I was like, okay, fine, whatever. And he chuckled at some of the previews and stuff like that. But when the movie started, it was outward conversation that he was talking to himself. He wanted everybody to hear. Same type that you were talking about with this little girl, except for this guy was a grown ass man. What tipped me off that it was going to be bad was, I believe, like the first scene of the movie, they have the camera pans up and it shows the street sign that says Oak Street. And he must have been from Oakland because he's like, Oakland. Like, Jesus Christ. So every time they showed Oak Street, boom, he would have to yell that. And then he'd be like, oh, you don't. It was like a non-entertaining version of Brenda in Scary Movie. Like, not entertaining at all.
He's got that annoying black lady energy.
Yeah, except for he was just, I don't even know. He just wanted to be loud. He was just and then like he went up and went to the bathroom. I like looked over and his drink looked like it was like some mix of chemicals. It's something I'd never seen. I'm like, is that a fucking bomb? Like, so, and it went on the entire movie. He was a really big dude though. So I wasn't going to test it, but yeah, he super annoyed me. Just every fucking thing that happened. And in this movie, there's a lot of funny shit that happens and a lot of crazy shit. And of course, he's like, "Oh damn, man!" I'm like, "Dude, we're not in your living room. Come on." Like,
I will admit that I did, because I needed to break the tension because this guy and his daughter was pissing me off so much. So there is a scene, and we'll obviously talk about it as we talk about the film, where our boy Ewan McGregor does something pretty cool with a sledgehammer. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. But as soon as the silence kind of lifted, or the silence kind of dropped because the movie goes silent, I was like, hell yeah. My whole row was like, because I got to make them laugh because this guy next to me was
and then 5 seconds later, I bet that changed, didn't it?
It very much did.
Mm-hmm. With that, let's get into the spoiler-free territory. As Chris mentioned, basically this movie revolves around this typical 80s street. They're having block parties. They're, Can
I just say, did you not feel the nostalgia heavy in this one?
The set pieces, the costumes.
I was like, dude, take me back to the pre-cell phone, pre-internet. Take me back all of it because it was just so great.
And it truly does transport you there. You forget the first 10 minutes of the movie that you're going to be watching a dinosaur movie. Like, you're like, okay. And I thought they did a great job, and we'll get into it, developing some of the family dynamics and kind of what may be going on without the dinosaurs. But anyway, a strange phenomenon happens. This entire city block, I think it's like 5 blocks of this neighborhood, basically like this.
It's much bigger than just the street.
Right. Yeah. It's the end of Oak. I don't know. I don't even know what to say, but it's like a big fucking circle of this neighborhood gets transported to 200 million BC, something like that. And so you can imagine, like, so on the outside, if you're in the middle of your street, if you live there and you walk outside, it seems normal. But they are smack dab in the middle of whatever the Cretaceous period. I used to be an expert at dinosaurs when I was like 4. Not so much anymore. I think we all went through that phase where we were, we could name off 12 different
when Jurassic Park came out, I think all of us tried to become dinosaur experts.
Dude, yeah, fuck yeah, it was cool. The science of it was actually cool. And so basically becomes a fight for survival because they don't know how to get home. They don't know why they're there. All they know is that they are face to face with these prehistoric creatures that all they know how to do is to kill. And you can imagine,
call them what they are.
You can imagine your fear if you walk outside and there's a fucking T-Rex. Like you're just mowing your lawn, and there's a couple funny moments here where they, the real life and the dinos kind of mix. But that's really the end of the short. And the short of it, Ewan McGregor, I believe he plays a guy named Greg. Is that
Greg?
Right?
Yep,
Greg?
He's the dad.
And then he's married to Anne Hathaway, who plays
the
Denise.
Beautiful Anne Hathaway.
Yep, and they have 2 kids. I did not care enough to know their names, but
Audrey and Brian.
Audrey and Brian, fine, whatever. Audrey's fine, but I have thoughts on Brian. He's such a fucknut. But so basically, it's Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway trying to keep their family safe while they don't know what's going on, and that's really the long and the short of it. Don't want to give anything away until we hit Spoiler Town right fucking now. So I'll let you kick it away when they show the sign of Oak Street.
Let's do it, baby. Oakland. So yeah, I mean, digging it again and just putting a thumb, I guess, or putting a finger on the nostalgia on this. I mean, if you guys weren't alive in the pre cell phone, pre-internet era, right? Call it the 90s. I mean, you and I both grew up in the 90s, right? The movie takes place in 1982, but I can't explain. There's a reason that we all pine for those days because there was so much more community, and that's how this movie kicks off. It's a block party, man. They're having bag sack races, and they're grilling outside. It's a neighborhood block party. It's just fun. It's when you trusted your neighbors and you met them and you talked to them and all those things are happening. And we have our main character.
Even the neighbors they don't get along with.
Even the neighbors you don't get along with, you still talk to them and you're cordial. You don't give them the bird when you walk out of the house. Like you get along and then you go in and bitch about them to your husband or your wife. So
yeah. Hey, Derek, sprechen Sie dick.
Sprechen Sie dick. Oh, I love it so much. But we have our main characters, Denise and Greg. Denise is, of course, Anne Hathaway, and Greg is Ewan McGregor, her husband, and Audrey and Brian, the kids. Their dog, Starbuck, who's it looks like a cow, just a cow dog, just a mixed mutt. But they live in Oak Street, and they live in the suburban town. They're just doing life, right? Dad works, he does deliveries, and mom is Anne Hathaway. She doesn't work because stay-at-home mom again. This is 1982. So, she's stay-at-home mom, and she's kind of a novelist. She's an aspiring novelist. She's secretly writing a story that she wants to get published one day, which is fantastic. I think that's a beautiful idea. And, you kind of get the idea that we're really living this Americana life, right? Everyone lives on the street and, they're having the block party. You sort of get an idea that things aren't perfect because our boy Greg, Ewan McGregor, but by the way, my favorite actor ever since he's been Obi-Wan Kenobi, I've followed all of his work. I love him. Approaches his wife, Anne Hathaway, and lets her know, like, hey, I've got to jet out of here quick. I need to go make some deliveries. And she, she's clearly unhappy about it. The scene is tense. There's tension in the air. She lets him know, like, I thought you weren't going to do that anymore. Like, why? And he's like, look, it's important. I need to go get this done. So he's doing pizza deliveries in the afternoon.
Pizza time.
Pizza time, exactly right. And by the way, guys, this is before you have internet and you can track where the person is. Like, this is when you call the pizza place and you say, "This is my address. I'll see you in 30 minutes."
You
have
trust
to
that
find.
it's gonna get
You
there,
trust
yeah.
that they know exactly where you are. So he bounces. The marriage is strained, right? Denise pays a visit to a neighbor, and she's having her neighbor edit her book. Essentially, she's giving her the first draft, the second draft, and you kind of get the idea that, like we said, things aren't great in the marriage, and Denise is kind of contemplating just leaving.
She writes in the book, because the neighbor that was the editor is like, I just thought the part where the main character was like standing with her, with her luggage and was contemplating whether to leave her family or not. I just thought that was so deep, and you'd see Anne Hathaway just going like, "Yeah, I wrote that just because," and it's like, that is she wrote it because that's her. You write what you know, so yeah.
And we'll get into that a little bit later. But if you guys are already taking this idea that Greg is some kind of jerk or a bad guy, not true at all. But we'll talk about that as we get deeper into the movie.
That is one of the most unbelievable parts of this movie, and that pissed me off. Is I'm just like, no one would ever want to leave Ewan McGregor, ever,
right?
Ever.
The dude is infinitely handsome.
Yeah,
he's 55 and he looks like he's 30,
and he is just like the prototypical dad. He's like, I'm gonna crack stupid jokes, I'm gonna fix shit around the house, I'm gonna help my neighbor that's a dick. Like, he is I don't think he has any except for hiding one little thing from his wife, but he only does that because
we'll talk about
other circumstances.
We'll talk about that.
Other than that, it's not like he is doing anything suspicious on the side, or
he's not dismissive, he's not like ignoring her, any of those things. So that kind of sets off, you kind of dig into the marital strain there, but it is what it is. So you kind of learn that he's doing pizza deliveries in the evening time. It's just like a side gig to try to get some extra cash. And again, we'll jump into that a little bit later, but ultimately, this woman that Denise is sharing her books with, she kind of takes her outside. She's like, "You want to see something weird?" And out back, there's this very strange plant. It almost looks like what's the best way to say it? It's almost like a palm tree, but it's only about waist high. It's got a bud on the top, and it's completely out of place.
Like
a little pink flower, completely out of place. And she's like, "I don't know where this came from. Like, it showed up 2 days ago, just out of the blue, and it's already this big." And Anne Hathaway is like, "That's really weird." She takes a picture of it with a Polaroid camera. You guys don't know a Polaroid camera, take a look. She's like, I'd love to learn kind of what this is. So, we fast forward to dinner that night. And again, it's family dinner, man. If you guys didn't grow up with family dinner, you don't know what I'm talking about. You don't get your plate and then go to your room. You don't get your plate and you sit in front of the TV. It's family dinner. You get your plate, you go to the dinner table.
Well, they have a fucking booth. They have like a diner booth. Like,
you guys have to understand, back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, 1982, you could work in a warehouse making $5 an hour and you could afford a house. We're talking a 2,000 square foot, 3-story, main level, second floor, basement, the nice big kitchen. Like, you could afford all that on that kind of salary. And that's what we've got. I mean, it's Americana. It's Americana, man. But yeah, back to family dinner. You get your plate, you sit at the dinner table. Mom and dad are sitting there. How was your day? How was school? How are, you talk all these things. And it's kind of a wonderful scene because, again, kind of what you were saying earlier, you get the idea that they're good parents, right? Ewan McGregor's busting, he's breaking out the dad jokes. Greg is breaking out dad jokes and joking around with the kids and talking about what's going on outside of school, outside. And again, it's a fantastic scene, and we don't get any kind of inkling that anything wrong is happening at this point. So from there, again, Denise has taken a picture of this plant, and the next day she goes to the library, and she's doing some research for her book, right? Next day she goes to the library. She's kind of looking where this plant came from, just to kind of sate her curiosity. And she asks the librarian, she's like, "Hey, I'm looking for, I'm not seeing this plant in any of the books. Any idea?" And the librarian kind of looks at it, and she's clearly in the know. And she says, "Well, that looks like this specific plant, but it can't be because this plant has been extinct for millions of years. It has not been around since, the Triassic area, the Jurassic era." So again, Anne Hathaway's kind of like, "Well, that's kind of weird. It's definitely in her backyard, but whatever, doesn't think anything of it at this point." So that night, or I should say, this is what's interesting because this kind of alludes to what's going on. At night, there's a lot of bright lights happening, and you think it's just lightning, right? But it's kind of bright light that's being sustained for 5 or 6 seconds, then it just quickly goes away. So they wake up the next day, and their neighbor is pounding on the door because the neighbor has constantly had a problem with their dog going into his
stay
yard.
away from Starbuck, okay?
Starbuck, the dog Starbuck.
And this
The
guy,
neighbor
he
pounding on
plays
the
the
door.
same role in every movie.
Absolutely. He's the annoying, like, you feel kind of sorry for him guy. He's the incel guy.
Mm-hmm.
So he's pounding on the door. He's like, you guys are assholes. I'm going to call the police. And they don't know what he's talking about. But sure enough, he takes them into their backyard. And all I could think about was the scene in Jurassic
That
Park.
is one big pile of shit.
That's exactly right. That's exactly what everyone was thinking, because he takes them in the backyard. There's a pile of shit that's about the size. It's up to his head. It's
He's
huge.
like, I don't even know how you guys did this.
It's literally, it's literally that is one big pile of shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's screaming. He's like, I don't know how you did this, but I'm going to call the cops. And Greg is like,
I'll
hey,
help
man,
you clean it up.
I'll help you clean it up. And Brian, my son, will help you. So again, you in the back of your mind, you're like, that's a lot of shit.
Mm-hmm.
From
and
one
it's like,
animal.
it's like steaming and like it's really bad. And to say this, that is not as crude as this movie gets with its dinosaurs.
No, it definitely gets bigger. So, and this is
Would
where
you
things
say
kind of go crazy.
BDA bigger?
I would certainly say it gets BDA bigger.
Sorry. Spoiler alert, we're getting there.
We're getting there, baby. And this is where things kind of kick off, because that night, huge storm, right? The radio was talking about solar flares that have been happening. We have a huge rainstorm is happening. And that night, again, real bright light that's sustained. And then all of a sudden, the power goes out. And I'll kind of let you take it from here.
The power goes out, and we've all been there. It's like, let's get the flashlight, let's do this, do that. The family basically comes to the realization, there's like, okay, we'll deal with it in the morning. That's what we'll do. I think they all sleep in the living room that night together. The next morning they wake up, power's still not on, obviously, because us as the audience, we know dinosaurs are gonna fuck some shit up, but they get the food out of the fridge. They're like, oh, let's just kill the cereal because the milk's going to go bad, this and that. And I really enjoyed this buildup because, like, outside to the general eye, there's really nothing wrong. It's quiet.
Whole neighborhood
Sure.
looks normal.
Yeah, it's just quiet. They end up going their separate ways, essentially, because it's Greg isn't going into the. He's like, oh, I can work late, whatever. Because I believe he's alluding to the fact that, like, Anne Hathaway still thinks he has his other job, and you come to find out a little later that this is the thing that he's been hiding, is that he got fired from his job. That's why he is delivering pizzas, and she thinks that's tacky. Like, there's a part earlier where he's coming back home and he has Brian help him take the pizza topper off his car because it embarrasses his mom. So it's like, okay, there's that. It's just so awkward because it's like, you don't know when something's going to happen, because they're walking and there's, like, you can see, like, dino prints. Us as the audience, we know. The only thing we don't know is, did the dinosaurs come to them or did they go to the dinosaurs? Right. They keep splitting up. There's a little side plot where Brian is being chased by this bully from school. I'm not going to touch on it too much because it just seemed really fucking out of place this entire time. Yeah,
it wasn't necessary to the plot.
Right. And he is chased around by these guys, and they slowly start to realize that they hear loud noises. There's just, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a surreal thing. I'm trying to remember the first time they get a glimpse of a dino. I know that there's one hiding out in their backyard.
Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, the dog ran away during the night. So
Starbuck. Yeah.
Starbuck, yep. So Brian notices the dog's gone, and they say, "Hey, you know what? Why don't you stay inside? Mom and I'll go look for the dog." And as they're looking for the dog, that's when the first carnivore dinosaur kind of shows up.
Mm-hmm. And they showed this part in the preview, and I wish they didn't because it was hilarious. They start running down the street and yelling at their neighbors. They're like, "Get inside, get inside, get inside." And this lady's just like on the porch, "What are you yelling?"
There's always a Karen that's like, "What's going on? Why are you screaming and yelling?" And then the damn dinosaur that's chasing them grabs the Karen. It's pretty great.
Yeah. And then you can imagine their shock when they get home and they're just like, "Oh my God, there's something out there." And then you slowly start to realize that they're in some trouble here. There's another funny part where their neighbor across the street, he's just like going to his car like he's going to work, and he backs out of his driveway, and then he just comes
was funny.
screaming
back in.
Yeah, he's just like, "Fuck this." And they do try to escape in the car. They go to literally the end of Oak Street. And it is like a cliff into, and you realize at this point that they have been dropped into the middle of where their neighborhood was 200 million years ago. Which I thought of this. What about from the point of view of the dinosaurs? They're just sitting there fucking doing their shit, and then they're like, "What the fuck?
Where am I?"
Yeah. Who are these clowns? I guess it's a buffet now because there's a lot of.
We'll eat it. Yeah, it looks like we can eat them. So we'll eat them.
It's kind of reminded me of the opening of Dawn of the Dead, the remake, where there's just carnage everywhere on the street, and
she walks out of the house, and it's just like,
yep, and everything is fucked. So they end up getting home. They start boarding up the house. And this comes where it's a little bit more of a character dynamic here because Ewan McGregor's like, we just need to stay here and find help. And Anne Hathaway is like, what do you mean? We don't know what she clearly is wearing the pants, like emotionally.
Yeah. Well, she's very much like, he's optimistic because he's trying to keep everyone like, obviously you wouldn't tell your kids like, yeah, we're probably going to die. It's like, he's still trying to be dad. Yeah, she does. He's still trying to be dad, where it's like, we're going to figure out a way out of this. We're going to figure out how to get back. There's got to be a way back.
He says something like, he's just like, "I don't think God would let us die here."
Yeah.
And she's like, "You only go to church on Christmas, and now you're going to tell our kids that God's going to save us?" And then she's just like, "That is very real possibility we could die here." And
and this is when everything kind of comes out. He lets her know, like, "Look, I got laid off. I'm working the other job just to try to bring some money in. While I've been looking for work and I haven't had much success, all that stuff." And then bigger things come out in that we come to find out, like, hey, actually, he's read her book. He's like, "I know you're writing this book. I've read it. If you want to leave, then how could you leave your family? I'm trying so hard to keep things together. I'm out until 11:30 midnight delivering pizzas to bring in enough money to keep a roof over our heads. Like, I am trying so hard, and you just want to leave. How do you think I feel?" All that stuff.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if it's just because we're both big Ewan McGregor guys, but yeah, like I could not find any flaws with him. He just seems like the dad that wants to save
Trying
everything.
To keep the family together. Yeah, he loves his kids. He loves his wife.
Mm-hmm. And he, because earlier in the movie they show Anne Hathaway writing her book in the basement with headphones on, and she has been hiding. Which, speaking of which, at the end of this, I do have a lengthy list of notes where I am comparing this movie to another recent movie, and I'm interested to get your thoughts. And there's
Love it.
Comes into play for that, but yeah, and just great performances here by Anne Hathaway and Ewan McGregor, and I mean, like, I love them together. What a couple!
Fair, yeah. Ewan McGregor can do no wrong. Anne Hathaway is having an absolutely stellar year. Love that she was in this. She's fantastic.
And I'm sitting here going, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, why is Ewan McGregor afraid of these fucks? Wasn't he in a worse situation at the end of Attack of the Clones? Like,
I would like to think so.
He faced bigger fucking creatures than this. But what's neat about the dinosaurs, because there's a couple different parts where the dinosaurs get close to the house. They're boarding it up. The dinosaurs are actually furry, which is
Or feathery.
feathery, furry. Yeah, they whereas like in Jurassic Park they're very scaly. They're so it was just an interesting look at it. I know a lot of people have had opinions on that with this movie, but there's one scene where there's a huge dinosaur outside. It's at night, so they can't really see it. They just see the fur going up against the window in the bathroom. So there's a part in the movie where they're looking out and their asshole neighbor is on top of this roof shooting at the fucking pterodactyls. Yeah.
Which end up killing him. They do kill his ass.
Yeah,
he gets murdered on his roof.
They kill his fucking ass. And now we get to the part of the story where I really start to hate this fucking shithead kid, Brian. Because we're both animal lovers. We both are.
I got my baby kitties.
I'm willing to bet, because I know I wouldn't do it with my puppies. I'm willing to bet if your kitties left your house during a fucking dinosaur apocalypse, I don't think you'd be running down the street to save them.
I love them both. I love them to death. But if they sprinted out, it's like, I guess that's it. Like, I love you guys. Good luck.
Depressing. Yeah. So Starbuck again has gone away, and Brian thinks that I think he thinks that he hears Starbuck.
He hears him or he sees him. I think he sees him. He sees him.
Oh, yeah, he sees him, and then the dino starts chasing him.
Yep.
And so he goes out because he's gonna find him. He's gonna get Starbuck, which sets into motion. And first of all, he grabs a crossbow, and
which he's a horrible aim with. Can I just say that?
This also goes into my comparison.
That pissed me off. I'm like, bro, come on.
He is the worst shot, and he is trembling. Like, this has been a really bad year for horror movies where there's pussy dudes. You got
Bear.
You got Bear. You got the brother from Evil Dead Burn.
Yep.
You got this kid. There's probably been a few others that have been awful, but
the lead in Resident Evil doesn't look like he's much of a fighter.
No. Mm-hmm. So not a great year for being a man's man in tough situations in horror movies, but he runs out. Then of course his sister runs out to try and find him, and then Greg and Denise have to run out to find their kids. So now all four of them are in immediate danger. Yep. And they end up finding Starbuck, and there's a part where the bully thing comes to a head, and it's really dumb. I don't know why they shoot
that. Was like in. of all the there's a couple of things in this film we can talk about them kind of at the end when we wrap it up, but there are two main things in this film that I'm like, this is not necessary even a little bit, and this was one of them.
Yeah, this one was for sure, because like Brian is attacked by the kid. He broke his arm by putting
his older brother has a vendetta out against him. So while the neighborhood has clearly been transported into prehistoric times, that are all running for their lives from dinosaurs, he decides he's going to attack Brian and punch him in the face a couple times because he broke his. It's like, hey man, your neighborhood has been transported into the Triassic era, and you want to get revenge against the dude that hurt your brother. Like, get out of here.
Well, and his brother is there, and he finally says, like, I don't want this. There's bigger things.
Like, leave him alone. Yeah, it's like, leave him alone. There are bigger things at problem here.
I'm like, what the hell? Like, you didn't leave that on the cutting room floor? I'd be interested to see the deleted scenes and what they kept and what they didn't. But that happens. It ends up going through the night. They're able to survive the night, but the next day, this is where...
Well, something really important happens while they're looking for Starbuck. If you remember, they go into the neighbor's house because they keep seeing light flashes.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And remember, mom and dad have left to look for the kids because the kids aren't home because they were going to look for Starbucks. So mom and dad, Ewan McGregor and Anne Hathaway, Greg and Denise, they run into this house, and they, sure enough, there's this it's like a wormhole. It almost looks like, if you guys saw the movie Sphere, it's like a teleportation sphere in the middle. And the daughter Audrey mentioned while they were all sleeping in the living room. Remember, this is 1982. So she's talking about Carl Sagan, right? She's like, Carl Sagan talks a lot about, wormholes and like wormholes in space time and how these could exist. And if you were to go through one, it could potentially transport you to another time and place. And that's kind of, they've landed on that. Like, that must be what has happened. And again, Greg and Denise in this living room, they see a wormhole that looks like it's probably going to take it back to their time. But, and again, this goes back to Ewan McGregor as the good dad. He's like, listen, Denise, go through the hole. Okay, I want you safe. I'll find the kids and I'll bring them back with me. But she doesn't want to go. Of course, she doesn't want to leave her kids because I think she's a decent mom too. But
just like the whole I'm going to abandon.
Like the whole I'm going to leave my family thing. But as they're talking about this, the wormhole closes, so they kind of miss their chance.
Right. They miss their chance. And then they go into full like we got to find our kids mode.
And there is a sweet scene because as they leave this house, there's a stampede of dinosaurs that are kind of coming towards them, and they take cover in the back of a car. And you can tell in the back of the car, and Greg again, you guys, you really can't get this idea that Greg's a bad husband that should be left, because in the car he throws himself on top of Denise to protect her, and they kind of share a moment where Denise reminds herself, like, "Oh, he's a good husband. This is a good man."
Yes, and after that, they stumble upon, as they've reconnected, couple other things reconnect as well. They're I don't even know how to put it. Basically, guys, there's a dinosaur sex scene. In this
played up as funny, and this is, but I will say as an aside, I think the guy and his little girl, she wasn't a little girl, she was like 12. I don't know if she knew what she was seeing, but as they get out of the car and as they continue looking for the children, they walk around a corner, and sure enough, there's two dinosaurs just doing it.
Dino style.
And you can't help but laugh because they're not noticing, but they're making all these funny noises, and they kind of laugh at it. They kind of smile, and it's kind of cute because she's like, Anne Hathaway, Denise is like, "Hey, let me take your picture in front of this. This is really funny." And Ewan McGregor's like, "Are you serious?" But he's got a sledgehammer that he's kind of using as a weapon, and he kind of puts it on his shoulder like this and poses in front of these two dinosaurs that are just getting on, and she snaps a picture of him. It's kind of a sweet scene. It is really funny.
Yeah, it breaks up the stress of the dino hunt and all that.
And it reminds you that these are two people that are married that, loved each other at some point, and they're kind of trying to rediscover that.
Yeah. And so while that's going on, they end up they do find Audrey and Brian. But unfortunately, this is where we find our T-Rex for the movie. And there's a really cool chase scene in the street, and they're constantly like, Ewan McGregor's trying to distract the T-Rex from the kids, and then Anne Hathaway's trying to distract it from Ewan McGregor. And I'll let you take this part away because this is where your sledgehammer part comes in, and this is also why I fucking hate his fucking kid.
Very much so.
None of this happens if he doesn't go after his dog.
Yeah, so the T-Rex or Allosaurus, big carnivore, whatever it is. Obviously, it's chasing them, and they're sprinting down the street trying to get away from it. And it's attacking Anne Hathaway, and then it's attacking Ewan McGregor, and then it's chasing the kids. So they're just trying to get away from this thing and find a place to take cover. And Anne Hathaway, she puts a bullet in it. She's got a gun. She puts a bullet in it, and then turns around and starts chasing her. And as it's chasing her, our fantastic guy, Greg, gets its attention, says, hey, come over here. And he distracts it so it starts chasing him. But ultimately, Anne Hathaway gets it to chase her so that the others can get away. And she ends up, she tries to run in the house, but the door is locked. So she's on the patio, kind of taking cover on the patio. And the Allosaurus it's trying to break its way into the patio, and it's just pushing towards her. And she's trying to fight it off. She's hitting it with the gun. She's trying to fight it off. She's kicking it. And Ewan McGregor, what a stud. I mean,
dude, what a badass
move to the heart. He runs up behind the Allosaurus, like gets close to it with his sledgehammer, and just winds up and cracks it in the knee. And then it turns around, and he doesn't run away. He stands there and faces it with this sledgehammer. Yeah, and he winds up, and as the Allosaurus goes in to just grab him and kill him, he swings the sledgehammer with all his strength and just cracks the thing across the skull. And it clearly dazes it, and it just knocks it over. And this is where, again, the music and the sound kind of goes down because it's like, oh, he nailed it, and it's done. And right there, I was like, oh, hell yeah. And the whole thing, everyone laughed. I got to break the levity there. But yeah, he knocks it out, completely knocks it unconscious. And then he runs up onto the patio to grab Anne Hathaway so they can get away. And this one was hard because again, Ewan McGregor is my favorite actor, but you guys can see what's coming. As he's getting Denise up
out of nowhere,
the Allosaurus kind of comes to its senses and comes up and reaches into the patio and just clamps his leg and pulls him out and lifts him up. And you're praying. You're like, oh my God, please drop him. Please drop him. And it does drop him. But
he's missing his leg now, and so
I bitten his leg completely.
I thought it's like, oh, now they gotta fucking drag him along the rest of the movie,
but no,
boy, was I wrong.
Boy, were you wrong, because he has just a couple seconds to collect himself because he's laying on his back with his leg gone, and sure enough, the dinosaur comes back and just right down on him, and he eats him and kills him. Which is what would happen in real life. Eats him right in front of Denise and his 2 children. They all witness it.
And from here, the grieving scene, like, because they have to walk back to their house and
they have to watch this dinosaur chomping down on their dad.
And like, you know, Brian, he obviously feels guilty because it's all his fucking fault. And Anne Hathaway snaps and it's like, "Did you say what that thing did to your father?" And it's like, really good performance here. And
he's like, yeah, I did see it. He's just breaking down.
Yeah.
They love their dad.
Mm-hmm. Which, who wouldn't? God, I wish he was my dad. Sorry, Dad. But they end up going back to the house. And a really cool chase scene here because there's a fucking like snake dinosaur that goes through the house.
It's like a snake salamander. It's also huge.
Well, another beef on this, and maybe this is your second beef. Like, do none of these people have ears? Because there's like dinosaurs sneak up on them, and like this thing, you can make the case like, you know, it's slithery, it's clearly supposed to be stealthy, but like there's times in the movie where a fucking huge dinosaur is just like walking towards them and they're still continuing their conversation.
Open your ears.
Yeah. I'm just like, these fucking people. But this scene really reminded me of like the old school Jurassic Park, like the kitchen scene in Jurassic Park, because you're just like, this thing is going to sneak up on somebody, and fucking awful shot Brian can't fucking hit it with the goddamn crossbow.
He just misses every shot that he takes at these things.
I think Anne Hathaway takes an axe to it, right? Or
she does a kitchen knife because it goes downstairs. It's 2 seconds away from just because it opens its mouth and it's going to swallow her. But he finally lands a shot upstairs because this thing it comes in the upstairs window and slithers downstairs. He finally lands a shot on it, and that makes it squeal in pain. And then it turns around and goes back upstairs like it's going to attack him. So as it's trying to break into the room, Anne Hathaway grabs a kitchen knife and she just starts stabbing the hell out of this thing. I mean, we're just
yeah. They get out of that, and there's a little side plot here about how they find somebody else that was like a friend from school or something. I'm not going to touch on it too much.
Yeah, it's not important. It's not relevant.
No. They end up seeing I want to say it's a couple blocks over, but they see the wormhole.
It's kind of up the hill.
Yeah, it's up the hill, so they got a ways to go. They end up getting over there. It's this real harrowing scene where they got to go through this house, and obviously there's a dead person in there. There's another lady that ends up sacrificing herself so that they can live, because there's like these alligator looking dinosaurs that are kind of taking over the house. They have to get to the roof of this house in order to even have a shot at the wormhole, because it pops, it's visible, and then it disappears, and then it's visible again and disappears. So they get up to the roof and
like times in, times out, times in, times out.
Fucking Brian, dude.
This pissed me off so much, I will say. Because the only thing that I could think of in my mind was like, have you guys ever played a video game? Do you know how to I mean, it is 1982, so maybe not.
Well, but even Anne Hathaway says like,
you time things.
But even Anne Hathaway's like, we need to time it. We need to time it. And Brian's going to be the first one to go. And he fucking waits way too long, and then I laughed audibly at this because he falls and like fucks up his leg really bad because he misses.
He jumps and he times it so bad, and it just closes itself. I mean, I seriously was like, "This is you dumb shit."
Like there's no way this guy would survive in any dinosaur time. He'd be the first one gone. But so, and there's a chase scene with. I know we're up against it on time here, but he is there's. There's avian dinosaurs trying to eat that kind of like pelican looking things. Really
Pterodons,
creepy looking. Yeah, pterodon, yeah. And they end up being able to get to the wormhole, and they all jump in together. And next thing you know, they're coming out of a pool in the backyard of another house during a monster rainstorm. And they're trying to figure out what we're here. The lady comes out that owns the house. She's like, "What are you guys doing?"
Get your ass out of my pool.
Yeah. And the first thing they say is like, "Are there any dinosaurs here?" What are you talking about? You come to find out they have been transported back to the night that they I think it's like, what, 20 minutes before
20 minutes before. It's actually, so if you guys remember, kind of like we were saying earlier, the night that everything happened, when Brian was seeing, he's like, there's a bright light up, there's lights outside, like, is it lightning? What is it? That bright light happened to be the wormhole that they ended up coming back through. So they're up the hill again, they're kind of out of their neighborhood, and they can look down on their subdivision, and they're like, it's 20 minutes until things actually happen. Because what happened when everything got transported, which makes sense, obviously the power went out, which stopped all of the clocks, and they could see it was 11:02 when this happened, and it's 10:42 when they get back.
And they're like, "There's no way we're going to get down there to." And the little high school girl goes to warn her family, but they're
she's like, "I gotta go with my parents. Like, I gotta tell them."
They're like, "There's no way we can go down there and save everyone. There's no way we're gonna end up in this again." So then Anne Hathaway's like, "Just come here. I got an idea." She goes to a phone booth. You don't know what she's doing, and then, in a really cool scene that made me fist bump.
I was like, yay! I knew it was coming too.
But the only way to order a pizza is by phone. So they order a pizza to the house, because she runs up to the house before she makes the phone call, and then she runs over to the phone. Ewan McGregor, he is back because it's the original.
She called the pizza place,
and he's like,
deliver a pizza.
What are you guys doing here? And boy, what story that would be.
Because you understand, like, it's the Ewan McGregor from the past who hasn't gone through all this stuff. So she calls him up, and they run up to him, and they hug him, and he's like, "What's this? What are you guys doing up here? What's going on?" And she kisses him, and she tells him, she's like, "I love you so much. I'll never leave you. Like, no matter what, I love you." And he's like, "I love you too." And she tells him, like, all the things you've been doing for she's grateful. She's like, "All the things you've been doing for this family, I'm so happy." And he's like, "I thought you'd just be mad at me for doing these delivers." She's like, "No, I love you so much." And it's kind of a beautiful scene, because again, he doesn't know all the things that have happened, but it is kind of funny because they're at the top of the hill, and they look down. The neighborhood disappears, right? And it doesn't just disappear, it transports. So while it goes to the past, the past comes to its time. So there's just this prehistoric landscape where the neighborhood used to be, with dinosaurs on it, and the dinosaurs start walking into the neighborhood, and Ewan McGregor's like, "Is that a fucking dinosaur?"
You get one F-bomb in a PG-13 movie.
Is that a fucking dinosaur?
Yeah, it was perfectly timed. You come to find out through exposition that, like, the government took care of the dinosaurs. They captured or killed them.
Capture or kill. It's been 2 years on. We're kind of 2 years into the future.
And Anne Hathaway made more than one phone call that night and was able to save. I don't know if they give an exact number, if she's able to save everybody. But
at least 3. She's able to save the librarian, whose house she went to, the wormhole's in.
Her asshole neighbor.
Her asshole neighbor. Yep, she didn't get along with. She called him. He was able to get out, and she was able to save the old lady who was helping her edit her book.
Yep. So
she just called him. She's like, "You guys get out of the neighborhood. Drive up to the hill. Get out of there now." And sure enough, they did, and they were spared.
Yep. So I mean, it's a pretty happy ending here. But yeah, is that a fucking dinosaur? It's just it leaned into the campiness of it.
And she took her experiences of what had happened, and she wrote a book. The book is called
The End of Oak Street.
How about that? she wrote that book. She got it published, and it made the family moderately wealthy.
Yeah, and
so now it's like, hey, Greg, you don't have to worry about being out of work.
And she had saved that picture of him with the sledgehammer in front of the dinosaurs fucking.
So she could prove. So she was able to prove, like, look, because guys, this is 1982. Like, computer technology of auditing that stuff doesn't exist yet. She has a Polaroid right there that's like, look, I'll tell you guys exactly what happened. I can prove it.
So, Obviously, we both didn't like the bully aspect. What was the other aspect that you didn't like? Was it the friend?
The love story with the friend between the daughter
yeah.
and the friend. I was like, you guys, this is not necessary in
You're
any
shoehorning
aspect.
it in.
Yeah, you're really forcing this, and it doesn't feel natural at all. So the daughter, Audrey, there's zero indication in this film that she's like an outcast because she's gay or that she has feelings for other girls.
No, because at the block party, there's a girl that kisses a boy that she's
Her
talking to,
boyfriend,
and
you can tell she's like pining for it. It's like, oh, she's jealous that she has a boyfriend and I don't.
And it's like, now is it she's jealous because the guy was kissing the girl? And
it's just they don't explore it. It doesn't make any sense. It's like this is not relevant to the plot at all. And in the final scene of the movie, as she's kind of typing on the typewriter, they go out back because Greg and Denise and the kids are having a barbecue and they're fighting over the girl from that they ended up saving, Jeanette. And there's actually two Jeanettes because Jeanette kind of goes back and saves her parents and saves her past self as well. So there's two different Jeanettes, but they're holding hands outside. But again, it's just not. It's one of those things like you don't care about those things, but it's like this is not relevant to the plot of this film.
The bully thing, it doesn't add to it at all.
It doesn't add to it. It's like this is not. You're not making any case.
No, they don't develop it. It's just kind of thrown in. It'd be one thing if like it was developed a little more, but
if it was a main plot point, I get it. That's fine. But it's not at all. It's just like we're going to put two scenes in here that are not relevant. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I'm going to pull out my notes here because first of all, I had to. You know what my favorite part of this movie was?
What's that?
It was when Anne Hathaway looked at Ewan McGregor and said, "You ruined our marriage," and he goes, "You have done that yourself." Or also, where did the kids that live on Oak Street go to play?
There's no parks. There's no. I like what you did there. Well done, sir. You are leaning into the dad jokes. Dude, I'm here for it.
I was like, Obi-Wan, you were supposed to defeat the dinos, not join them.
You guys see this? He has two daughters, so he's fully embracing the dad jokes here.
Now, I said this. I'm going to compare this to another movie that recently released. Do you want to take any stabs at it?
The Ice Cream Man?
No, we've both seen this movie. I'm just going to go out and say it. It's another Anne Hathaway one, The Odyssey. I started thinking about it. This has a lot in common with The Odyssey, and some of these might be a little bit of a stretch, but I was having fun with it. So here we go. Obviously, stars Anne Hathaway. In both movies, she feels very distant from her husband. Both of which her husband looks great with a beard, even though Ewan McGregor doesn't have a beard in this movie.
We know he looks fantastic with it.
Both movies are just about trying to get home while fighting giant creatures that don't exist in today's world. They end up lost in a strange land that they cannot navigate. She has an annoying son that's a pussy in both movies. I said there's a bow and arrow in both movies that technically give a warning shot beforehand, because in The Odyssey, he plucks the bow because he wants it to be a fair hunt. And in this one, her son is a shitty shot. So it basically is a warning shot. Both have a dog as a pretty big part of the story. Anne Hathaway is deceiving men in her house with a secret project in both movies.
You ain't wrong. You ain't wrong.
They end up hiding themselves in a wooden structure. And they save their marriage in the end, and all is happy ever after. So The Odyssey and the end of Oak Street is the exact same thing. Some of those I reached on.
Yeah.
It's just like the bow and arrow. I'm like, this dumb motherfucker thinks he's a
genius. Every single time he took it, I was like, you don't even have to try, and you're just missing everything.
Yeah.
It's 2 feet in front of you. It's like playing. You remember playing GoldenEye, and you'd creep right up behind people, and they don't know you're there, and you'd be like, "I can't miss." That's what it was, and he would miss.
Yeah, and it got me to thinking, how great of a casting would it be if you had full bearded Ewan McGregor playing Odysseus?
I mean, let's be honest. Ewan McGregor with a beard could do any role. I mean, we've seen him without a young Obi-Wan Kenobi, a young Padawan kind of making his way, and then. I mean, if you can't watch episode 3, a 38-year-old Obi-Wan Kenobi mature Jedi Master and look at that face and just be like, that dude, that guy.
Yeah, and you know what he would have said if he was transported back through the wormhole?
Hello there.
Well, that and another happy landing.
Another happy landing.
Well, we're in half a house.
That's actually spot on.
Yeah. So yeah, I just some funny thoughts I had with it. I love this movie. It's still not beating Obsession.
It was fun.
But,
it's not beating Obsession. I mean, this movie is exactly what it should be. And again, kind of going back to what we were saying earlier, like it's nice to see Hollywood like making films that are just they're popcorn features, and that's exactly what this is. You don't need to dissect it. You don't need to think deeper on it. It's like this is just it's fun. It's a fun film, fun for the family.
Well, and this is. They had like obviously the marketing materials come out and they're just like, this is the best dinosaur movie since Jurassic Park. And I got to thinking about it. I was like, you know what? I thought the first Jurassic World was pretty solid too. But I'm like, just like these dinosaurs never really look CGI, like especially on the porch where Anne Hathaway's getting attacked, like the snout's right in front of her and the teeth and everything. And it just, it's right up there with it. I mean, it's a different take on it, but yeah, some people didn't like the campiness of like the dinosaur sex scene and a couple other things, but overall it's been really well received.
Yeah, it's fun. It's really a fun movie. It doesn't seem to be blowing any box office records out. In fact, a lot of people don't seem to be seeing it. It's kind of struggling, but again, it's indicative of like, hey, you can make good films for under $100 million. You don't have to throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. You know, it's exactly what it should be. And again, that's encouraging to me. I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. Ewan McGregor can do no wrong in my eyes. He is my favorite actor. So I will go see anything that he's doing.
And yeah, I mean, if you're not going to miss a dinosaur movie in a neighborhood, then nothing's going to get you. So
yeah, what are we going to do for you? Can't say it.
I'm dying to hear what a recommendation is this week because I have one that is way off the board, but still applies to this.
I mean, well, you're going first then.
Okay. Well, I was trying to think of a movie that like, because there's not really dinosaur horror movies. I know Adam Driver did one. I think that was more of a, I never saw it, but I think that was more of a sci-fi type thing. There's been creature movies. There's like, you know, shark movies with animals and stuff. I decided to go a different route. There's this found footage movie, and it's called Be My Cat. Have you ever heard of it?
I've never heard of a film called Be My Cat.
Okay. Well, I had heard of it for a while, but I read the synopsis and I'm like, I'm never watching that because it sounds really stupid. The premise of it is this guy who is obsessed with the one and only Anne Hathaway. And so he basically wants her to star in his movie. And he ends up abducting girls to show her, like, this is what you could be. And it's really unsettling, really creepy. It's a found footage style. It's a quick watch. So Be My Cat. It's on Shudder. It's on Found. You can find it, but it's like I read the premise like 12 times, and then one day I was like, you know what? It got pretty good reviews. I'm going to watch it. Like, does Anne Hathaway know this movie was made? Probably not. But he mentions, he's just like, you will be be my cat, be my next Catwoman, be that. Like that's the deal there. Yeah. So
love it. I'm here for it.
Way off the board.
I guess. Well, man, that makes mine pale in comparison because I'm going with one that's a little more mainstream. This one came out a while back, but it is on. I think it's still on Netflix. But I'm going with. I actually rewatched this when I got back from Vegas because the Monday that I got back, I was running behind. We were going to do this show on that Monday night, but I needed to rot all day because my social battery was completely dead. I watched The Babadook on Netflix. Babadook. And this one's a lot of fun because it's not so traditional as horror is concerned. But the premise and the cinematography particularly is fantastic. Two fantastic performances from our leads. Our mother, who is struggling with her special needs son, and the special needs son, who I don't know who the actor is, but he's maybe 7 years old.
Why can't you just be normal?
Why can't you just be normal?
sure you guys have seen that meme. Yeah, that's
Yeah, you may have seen that meme, but check out the movie, The Babadook. I mean, it kind of plays on the paranoia that you parents have, especially you single parents out there when you're just trying to do right by your kid. Really, really great, really well done British horror movie. Check it out, The Babadook.
And I have a unpopular opinion of the Babadook. Like, I think I
Okay.
saw it after everybody had talked like it's the best horror movie of all time, and so I had a
Definitely
different
not.
expectation for it, because if you go into it like with no knowledge, you're probably going to
Yeah.
enjoy it a lot, because it has a lot of underlying themes revolving around grief and all this. Whereas I thought, I'm
Isolation.
just like, I just want a creature that's going to scare the fuck out of me. And the idea of the Babadook, the creature, is or the entity is very creepy. But still see it. I think it's a you have to, if you're wanting to be a part of horror and the history of horror, modern horror. Like there's a good bit about it in Scream 5. Where Jenna Ortega is like, the Babadook is my favorite because it's elevated horror.
Oh, Gen Z.
Yeah. Well, so the next 2 weeks, Obsession might have some calendar.
Home runs, baby. The rest of August and into September is just going to be heavy.
We got Insidious. Now, this is going to be interesting because I got to try and figure out how I'm going to see it, because Katie, my wife, really, 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 really wants to see it.
Bring her on, man. I'm going tomorrow night. I've already got my ticket.
You want to babysit for me?
Can I bring the girls with me?
Not to Insidious. No, you got to babysit them so I can watch them. But we will find a way to do it. So that will be our next week. And then after that, I believe it's Buddy, which they just released a new trailer for that. And I don't know if did you see the newest trailer for Whalefall?
Of course. Dude, we've got Whalefall. We've got Sex and Death at Camp Miasma.
Mm-hmm. When does that one come out? I was trying to figure out.
End of this month. I want to say August 28th. So hopefully it'll be in theaters for a minute.
Well, and that one,
we're leading up to Resident Evil, baby.
Well, and the Camp Miasma one, that I've told you guys, I try to avoid this stuff, but it's inevitable with my algorithm. It is being rated higher than Obsession. So
they are saying this thing is just insanely good.
So the expectations are high going in. I'm going to try and temper those. But there's some bangers, and you know what? If we get through August and Obsession hasn't been beat, it ain't getting beat.
I mean, this is not going to happen.
But I mean,
which I'm okay with, because it's.
We could have one like Pinocchio, because that one slapped me right across the face.
Absolutely, completely out of left field. Boy, it was good.
I can't wait to show that to people when it comes to streaming.
Right.
But all right, guys.
I was thinking the same thing.
Thank you for hanging out with us tonight. Go see Dinosaurs fucking up a suburban 80s street. It's as fun as it sounds.
It is great.
And R.I.P. Hayden Panettiere. We love you, and we will see you guys for Insidious Out of the Further. Da-da-da. Let's go.